Hi, so how you guys doing? It's Rachel Caine, just hanging out. Thought for my third vlog, I might do a little discussion about the characters that you might meet in Ink and Bone. Because we all know what makes a book really involving and interesting are characters you really want to be around. And I had so much fun with these characters. I hope that you do as well. So I'm going to give you a little bio on each one. And maybe a little spoiler perhaps here and there. I could. You never know. So our main character is Jess Brightwell. And Jess is the son of Callum Brightwell, who is a very big wheel in London. Very rich man with a secret. And his secret is, in a world where the Great Library at Alexandria never burned, he is the world's preeminent smuggler of books, because it is actually illegal to own your own books. That's not inconsistent, by the way, with the way the Great Library ran its business back in the day. So, Jess grew up a book smuggler. He ran books for his father in perilous conditions, as you can read about in the first chapter that's on the website at enterthelibrary.com. Jess has a twin brother, Brendan, and he and Brendan aren't really a lot alike, regardless of their looks. They have a few things in common, but generally speaking, Brendan really likes the business. Jess really doesn't. He likes the books. He wants to preserve the books. His father always thinks of him as being more of a scholar than a smuggler. And to prove that, his father's going to send him off to be their agent within the Great Library. Which means Jess has to go through tests, and then he has to get through the class to become a full-time employee of the library. So this is really a story about his time going through that process. So once we get Jess off to Alexandria, because the library is in Alexandria, we actually have a whole class of people that he's going to have to meet. One of them is Thomas Schreiber, who is going to pretty soon become Jess's best friend. And Thomas is a big guy. He's a smart guy. He's charming and sweet, and he's an inventor. He's an engineer at heart. And I think Jess feels protective of him because he recognizes that Thomas sees the good in everyone, and Thomas really doesn't understand the dark side. So we also have Dario Santiago. Dario is the opposite of Thomas in a lot of ways. He is a young, entitled, rich boy who came from noble birth, and he thinks it is absolutely his right to have a spot in the library, and he doesn't know why he has to go through this process, which is not his thing. He doesn't want to have to prove himself. Why would he? And he and Jess are going to end up roommates. That'll be fun. Then you have Kalila Safe. And Kalila is extremely smart. She is probably the smartest in her class, and very likely the smartest in her generation. She's going to be a great scholar, not just a good one. She may rise to the level one day of archivist of the entire library. But first she has to get through this. She's very smart, very kind, but also very, very strong. And she's a core of steel, that one, so watch out for her. You also have Guillaume Wathen. Guillaume is Welsh, which is, when it comes to Jess, a bit of a problem because the Welsh and the English are at war. And the Welsh are winning. So there is definitely some tension there, a little bit of pride and worry and all of those things. That's going to come into a very powerful mixture when their class is sent to the Battle of Oxford. So watch out for that. The next one would probably be, let's see, Guillaume Danton. French, comes from a very august family, but one that's definitely fallen on hard times. I won't tell you why. He may be associated with a movement, which we're going to hear a lot about in this book and further books in the series, called the Burners. And the Burners are revolutionaries slash terrorists. They want to overthrow the library's control of information. They want information to belong to the people. They don't agree with the library's stranglehold. So we don't really know whether Guillaume is part of that, not part of that. He's a mystery. So watch out for Guillaume. Then there's Morgan. Morgan is not there at the beginning, but she'll show up. Just wait for it. And Morgan has probably more secrets than any of them, which is pretty amazing because they've all got secrets, but she's got the big one. And Morgan is going to be the catalyst on which everything turns. She's also someone who Jess takes quite a liking to. And probably his vulnerability in a lot of ways. He didn't think he had one, now he does. As far as the adults in the story, Christopher Wolfe is their scholar, whose job it is to lead them through this course and get rid of the ones who do not qualify. He's not a nice guy. He's impatient, and he's very, very definitely not their friend, at least in the beginning. He doesn't really want to be there, and he can't really understand why he's been given this assignment. So we'll find out more about Wolfe as we go along. He's acerbic and sarcastic, and I kind of love him. Also, his friend is Captain Nicola Santi. Captain Santi is a commander in the High Garda, which is the library's army. He is a longtime friend of Wolfe's. We'll find out more about them as we go along, but he's the opposite in many ways of Wolfe. He is laid back. He never really gets excited about much. He's very calm. He's a great guy to have at your side in a fight because I promise he doesn't lose very much. And we'll find out a lot about his history, about Wolfe's history, and how it impacts this entire struggle, because there is a struggle going on within the library itself, which is really about the heart and soul of the library itself. So that's kind of our introduction to the characters. We'll talk more about it, I'm sure. And I'll be back with another vlog before the launch of Ink and Bone. But meanwhile, you can look me up at some of my upcoming appearances. The calendar's on my website at rachelcaine.com. This next weekend, on the 26th through the 28th of June, I will be at SoonerCon in Midwest City, Oklahoma, where I will be their young adult guest of honor. And also at this show will be Robert Picardo, who played Oliver in our Morganville Vampire series, and Haley Todd, who played Eve. So you're going to want to come and see us if you're in the area. It's going to be a bowl of fun. It's going to be awesome. And I will be happy to talk to you at length there. And then if you're in the San Diego Comic-Con area and are coming to the con, I will be signing books and on panels there, and I'll have more details on my site as it becomes updated. That's all for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and visit your local library. Be nice to them. They're wonderful people. Thank you.